If I had to sum up today's video in a single word, it would be dystopian. And my toxic trait is that ever since I was a little kid, I have actually wanted to live in a sci-fi dystopia. Like, I distinctly remember watching The Hunger Games and thinking, sign me up. Sure, I probably won't even last for like a minute, but before the games start, when I walk out in that diabolical drip, I'm gonna look so good. But as it turns out, 13-year-old me didn't have long to wait before he wound up in the sci-fi dystopia of his dreams, except this is not what I wanted at all. The story is so outlandish, I feel like Aldous Huxley is somewhere just taking notes. But as you're gonna see, despite being such a ridiculous story on the surface, there's like a lot of frustration at the core, so there's just a lot to get into. But first, welcome. My name is D'Angelo, and I am your professor of comparative cryptozoology, which is a very real degree that I definitely do have. Or maybe I'm just broadcasting myself talking in my room like YouTube used to be. And in today's lecture, I thought we would go over this Taylor Swift AI political controversy. This just happened. It's like this huge media scandal. But the craziest thing is, Taylor Swift herself has not said or done anything wrong to wind up in this position. I'll show you what I mean. So it's obviously no exaggeration to say that Taylor Swift is literally one of the most famous people in the entire world. And as such, she has plenty of fans, Swifties, but she's also got ops for days. And as it turns out, some of these ops are very politically motivated, to put it mildly. Trump allies pledge holy war against Taylor Swift. Like, disliking someone's music is one thing, and then there's genuinely believing that unnamed forces would rig the Super Bowl, the most prominent American football game of all. That way Taylor Swift's boyfriend would win. Taylor Swift and her boyfriend, of course, being an artificially culturally propped up couple. And then when all eyes are on Taylor, they thought she was going to like speak out against Trump or something. I keep referencing the Olympics because I have Olympics brain right now, but this is a level of gymnastics that only Simone Biles could rival. When you're in a mental gymnastics competition and your opponent is delusional Trump supporters who hate Taylor Swift, just bow out. So obviously these people are just straight up tweaking, but they have been allowed to tweak on a new level thanks to the advent of AI imagery. Trump supporters target black voters with faked AI images. They're out here in their spare time like, look y'all, they invited Trump to the cookout. He took a break from spreading disinformation and being a criminal to pose with like 5 black youths. Don't you too wish you could just make America again, whatever that says? Trump's gonna give us all a hand. Literally, this guy has 3 hands. AI images are just so creepy. And so I bring this all up to say, similar images meant to prove that all these various people are supporting Trump have now involved Taylor Swift. For months now, his supporters have been posting deepfakes on X falsely claiming she supports Trump. One manipulated video appeared to originate from a pro-Trump X account that has over 1 million followers. One video that had 10.3 million views was apparently edited to show her holding a sign that says Trump won and Democrats cheated. As if this was something she was doing on the Grammys red carpet and we just all missed it. Twitter like very half-heartedly acted like they were doing something about it. We took action on almost 100 posts, and yet NBC News found like multiple copies of this, many of which were not labeled as AI generated or manipulated content. And so these people are literally just using Taylor for any narrative that works. One minute she's literally Satan and we have to wage a holy war against her. The next minute she's just totally a Trump supporter and we just had no idea. And this isn't the first time we've seen entities attempt to cash in on Taylor or her massive audience to try to get some sort of marketing bonus. People have used the hype around Taylor for everything from selling more ranch dressing to the NFL trying to get more eyes on their games by like constantly featuring Taylor so hard that her boyfriend said they were overdoing it, to like this whole movie that was very clearly marketed to make it seem like Taylor Swift was involved when she wasn't. Not sure who this very good looking YouTuber is, but looks like he made a whole video about it that you could watch if you cared about the Argyle movie. Yes, for those of you who may not know, I have like a whole other channel where I post long form content. But the point is, all of the elements for this story to blow up were there. Angry Trump supporters, AI being misused as always, and Taylor Swift continuing to be literally more famous than any other living person. But then it got worse, and you'll never guess whose fault it. Yes, it's Elon Musk's fault. Literally everything is this man's fault. Elon, I fully endorse President Trump Musk. So besides allowing this edited Taylor content to like fester on his social media platform, he's been known to join in on the disinformation himself. He posted this edited AI voiceover video of Kamala Harris.
I, Kamala Harris, am your Democrat candidate for president. I was selected because I am the ultimate diversity hire. I'm both a woman and a person of color.
Crazy. Like, you're getting 930,000 likes. Over 100 million people have seen this. And there's just no indication that this is edited in any way. Just straight up disinformation, plain as day, as if you didn't need yet another reason to think Elon was pretty much the worst ever. A man who will violate the rules of his own platform just to spew this nonsense. Because according to X, if you're presenting it as reality and it can lead to widespread confusion on public issues, you're not allowed to post it without a warning like, hey, we made this up. He then went back and made it clear that it was parody only after he got called out for this. Parody is legal in America. I honestly just can't imagine being this. But the problem with Elon Musk is, like, being irresponsible and absurdly childish is maybe fine in a vacuum. But when he has so much influence and is rolling out decisions that affect so many people, like Grok 2, it all starts getting really harmful really fast. What is Grok, you may ask? This is from just a few days ago. X's new AI image generator will make anything from Taylor Swift in lingerie to Kamala Harris with a gun. So many AI image generators will at least try to steer you away from creating harmful content, though obviously they have not done a great job of that. But Elon was like, here guys, what if you just had no guardrails whatsoever? Like, it claims to avoid generating excessively violent or hateful content. It's cautious about infringing on existing copyrights or trademarks, and it straight up won't generate images that could be used to deceive or harm others. And yet people seem to have no problem getting it to generate anything from Donald Trump in a Nazi uniform to quote unquote sexy Taylor Swift, a woman who cannot seem to escape weirdos and their AI generators. And in just the few days since this has rolled out, I have seen fake pregnancy announcements, celebrities doing drugs, but they're fake images. Try Grok 2, Elon says, and people did, and it's been a complete disaster, like literally everything Elon Musk has ever done on Twitter. And so people kind of thought to themselves, hey, wait, the timing of this is really strange. X's chatbot can now generate AI images. A lack of guardrails raises election concerns. And this is where the dystopia starts jumping out, with the elections right around the corner and people's ability to generate literally whatever they want. That disinformation is on steroids. Fake images of people like doing illicit votes. People are just doing everything they can to like muddy the waters and flood the internet with literal lies. And if there's one person who cannot pass up an opportunity to tell lies on the internet, it's Donald Trump himself. Yes, I'm sorry, we've already had the jump scare of Elon Musk being in this video, but Trump is here too. What can I say? So Trump was initially calling out his opponents for apparently using AI to fake information, which by the way was not true and did not happen. It's just a classic thing where like, you know, you're doing the wrong thing, and so it's like, how do you deflect attention? You just accuse someone else of doing it. But no, according to Trump, using fake AI images should disqualify you because the creation of fake images is election interference. And then a week later, we've got him posting this on Twitter. 77 million views on like this AI generated video of communist Kamala, I suppose. You know, AI art is bad when I'm actually surprised that they spelled the word Chicago properly. He also posted this on his own social media platform, Truth Social, where it got like 17,000 likes, not even 17,000 likes. I'm pretty sure I will eventually have more than this on this video that you're watching right now. Truth Social wants to show notifications. They have block and allow, but I need an extra button that says I would literally rather die. Like, imagine creating an echo chamber for yourself that winds up being not only completely irrelevant, but like a total financial flop. Truth Social parent company's stock prices fall to new low after public trading debut. But anyways, as wrong as it is, I feel like there's a somewhat unsurprising energy to what Trump has done, because it is pretty hard for me to be surprised by any news involving him at all. Which is why I was shocked to find myself shocked by Donald J. Trump himself posting fake Taylor Swift AI images, making it seem like Taylor Swift endorses him. Swifties for Trump continues to break the internet. Kamala's campaign is in shambles over it. Bro's lawyers are about to be in shambles over this. Like, I don't feel like Taylor messes around with stuff like this. Taylor wants you to vote for Donald Trump. And you know, this one actually happens to not be AI generated. This person really was out there at the Trump rally just embarrassing yourself, which is kind of redundant, but people are literally trying to make it seem like a new political movement called Swifties for Trump is starting to gain some huge momentum. Momentum which Trump is now trying to capitalize on by adding additional fake content. And so, former president of the United States creating disinformation involving world's biggest pop singer obviously became the story of the day. This is literally everywhere. CNN, Fox, Business Insider, The Guardian. Swifties are furious. Triggers media outcry, falsely suggesting he has the singer's support. Like, how is any of this real? I guess the point is that it's not real, but how is this happening? What is literally anything anymore? The situation is just so bizarre to me that it actually feels AI generated, as if I just asked the chatbot to come up with a wacky headline. But no, this is where we are. And so I guess it does raise some questions, a few of which I would like to answer. One question is, how does Taylor Swift feel about this? She hasn't responded yet because, as I said, this literally just happened. But seeing as in 2020, she said, the change we need most is to elect a president who recognizes that people of color deserve to feel safe and represented, that women deserve the right to choose what happens to their bodies, and LGBT community deserves to be acknowledged and included. I will proudly vote for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris in this year's presidential election. It's safe to assume that Taylor does not in fact want you to vote for Donald Trump. And you know, maybe that was somehow just not severe enough for these people. But seeing as in 2020 she called Trump out for stoking the fires of white supremacy and racism for his entire presidency, and saying we will vote you out in November, which did happen by the way, shout out Taylor. It's blatantly obvious that Trump is misrepresenting her political views in order to advance his own campaign. So there's that question answered. I think my next question is, can Taylor Swift sue Donald Trump into oblivion over this? And according to Business Insider, yeah, she can. They asked experts on this and they said privacy torts protect people from having their name, image, or likeness used without their permission. Manipulating it using AI doesn't change things. And they point to the recent example of OpenAI having to change one of ChatGPT's voice options because it sounded exactly like Scarlett Johansson. But the problem with like lawsuits and the law is like, it gets really murky. Did Donald Trump believe that this was real? Can Swift prove that this somehow damaged her? Would courts exercise caution to avoid chilling political speech? Yeah, you wouldn't want to chill Donald Trump's right to disseminate disinformation using somebody's likeness without their permission. And you know, sadly, to quote the article, it seems like experts are saying Taylor would not have very strong legal claims against Trump under this scenario, because political speech is very heavily protected under the First Amendment. He could claim it was satire, he's not the one who made it. He could go so far as to say he didn't even really put it online. And Swift would need to prove that the Trump campaign sent these images out with intent to deceive voters, which honestly, she may not be able to do. And that's just according to these opinions from this article. I am obviously not a lawyer and I have no idea how any of this works. But my unlawyered opinion is that I don't care what his intention was. I'm not calling for him to be like sued or silenced. I'm just saying this was wrong. This was disgusting. Trump's AI fakes of Harris and Swift aren't meant to fool you. Like, why do we need entire articles saying these aren't credible deepfakes? They're provocative memes. What are we doing here? What's the vibe? Not everything has to be a legal issue. I think it's fine to just say this is genuinely gross and I would prefer if it didn't happen. I do understand the point, right? Educating myself and seeing, okay, it's not really as cut and dry in a court of law is good. I get where these articles are coming from and why they're coming out. I just also don't care. All of this just needs to stop. As far as I'm concerned, I am so tired of these Taylor Swift AI controversies because this is not even the only one she's been involved in. And I'm using the word involved in, but she's literally not involved in them. We keep putting people in situations that they didn't consent to. Like over half a year ago, and I'm only bringing attention to this because all these images have been scrubbed from the internet, there was this whole deepfake scandal where like AI generated nudes of Taylor Swift were going viral on Twitter, and it's all just disgusting. Someone being a public figure doesn't give you a right to like their body or their opinions, their stances on important issues. You don't get to manipulate these things into something that you like better. Obviously, Taylor Swift has done things that could be criticized or appreciated, but none of that has to do with the fact that she doesn't deserve this at all. And the flip-flopping of like, oh, we hate Taylor Swift, but we're still going to use you to prove a point is disgusting. And the fact that the most high-profile person involved in this could potentially be our president again kind of proves that the whole you need to register to vote thing is not just a trendy slogan on Twitter. It's like, oh my God, please do so. So that's my take on the scenario. Dave's take is that you should go to vote.org if you are a US citizen. And if you have no other reason, do it for Dave, who cannot vote because he is a statue. And if you too are like Dave and the statue or not a citizen of the United States, I guess you could just cry with us. Anyway, this is the part of the video where a layman would ask you to subscribe, like the video, leave a comment, but I will ask you to enroll, evaluate the video, and submit your feedback. Because I am, of course, running a 100% totally for real this time, don't look too closely, established accredited university. Kind of. Not really, but you know. Just ask anybody in the student body, we're totally legit. And as for me, whether you'll see me in 24 hours or 24 months is anyone's guess, but until then, thank you for watching. Please go look at pictures of cute animals or something to balance out the nonsense that was this story.